Okay, since it's Sunday, and it's a slow Sunday, there's not really a whole lot going on. We're waiting on these games to get finished. There's right now Capitals and Blues. I don't know. The shots are 4-2, and there's 6 minutes left in the first. It's an exciting game and all. It's not. It really isn't. I think there's part of me that's like, okay, wrap it up. Let's get the preseason done. Wrap it up. Um, So as we go into the regular season, I understand there's a lot of subscribers that have got picked up over the summer. A lot. During the regular season, my usage of boards will be dropping dramatically. Uh, so I've got the this is my game day board now. That's been decided by me. I've got my historical board, and of course I haven't done the 2014-15 season yet today. That's going to come out soon. And probably next video I do. And then I've got the power rankings board, which I've got the actual preseason power rankings on. Now, I was going to do a video this morning on preseason power rankings, but the only ones I could find were ESPN's, which are, they got the Leafs in 10th, so right away I'm like, no. And then there's the NHL.com Power 16 or Super 16, however you want to put it, and it only rates the top 16 teams, and it was done in July. So, there were a couple other things I looked at too. I looked at preseason records. I was going to say, hey, let's look at preseason records over the last couple of years. I will say this. Carolina's excellent in preseason. Doesn't mean a whole lot for regular season, and Washington is consistently mediocre in the preseason. So, I was looking for some kind of pattern. I'm like, all right, I'm going to, madness, right? I'm going to do a madness board. I'm going to figure if there's any kind of... And again, with preseason, you have games where you've got all rookies playing, or you've got all veterans playing against rookies. Toronto did that to Montreal the other night. And there's been some talk about that, too. Is it bad form to put a team of all veterans out when you know the other team's playing all rookies? What do you get from that? And the idea is you don't really get much of anything from that, except inflated statistics. I was going to talk about other preseason related things. I will try to do a video tomorrow on every team in the league and what we've learned in the preseason, and try to come up with a lesson we've learned with each of the 31 teams in the preseason, which, again, you have to take it all with a grain of salt because they only play between 6 and 8 games in the preseason. And like I said, there's a lot of them where they're just playing rookies, or they're playing a mix of rookies and veterans. Actual games featuring the talent that's going to be on the ice in the regular season against one another are rare. And as we saw last night, when you get a lot of veteran guys on the ice, the goal scoring goes way down. I would expect that once the regular season starts, they'll have the daily previews, the daily reviews as well. And then other video topics will be your standard topic of the day stuff. Trades, trade rumors. Trade rumors only if they're coming from trusted sources. You're always going to have trade rumors out there. I would imagine that if the William Nylander thing drags on, I'll say another week, we'll start hearing all kinds of trade rumors about what the Leafs want. And it'll start out with somebody who's legitimate saying, well, if the Leafs were going to trade Nylander, it would be for, here's the package. And then somebody will take that and go, Leafs might be asking for this, which then turns into the third person saying Leafs are asking, it's telephone. The internet has become one giant game of telephone. If you haven't played telephone, I feel very old. So that's the big boards. The small board, of course, I use for the... basically, I was using it for preseason, but then, of course, that got turned into something more than I'd ever expected it to be. And, of course, every Saturday, I will be doing power rankings. Now, tomorrow I will reveal where I have my power rankings right now. So going into the season where I have everybody, and then every Saturday, once the games are finished on Saturday night, I will do my power rankings video for the week. It will not start week 1. I'm not that crazy. Nothing's going to change between Wednesday and Saturday to make it worth actually doing a whole video on it. I may throw one on Patreon. I haven't decided yet. And then for every week starting the following Saturday, the power rankings will be back up. And I know people are going to say that's way too early in the season. And it's just, it's fun. The power rankings, honestly, are fun. It's a fun way to try to measure who has the most momentum. Because I think where people get caught on power rankings is that I'll do one and people are like, well, wait, he's like last year, I know, in Toronto in first early in the year. People are like, well, Toronto's not going to win the cup. Yeah, it's not about who's winning the cup. It's about who's playing the best right now, who's on the best run. And then it's from there, once you get, 15, 20 games into the season, there's less movement. There's going to be a lot of movement at the start of the year. And spoiler alert, I have Ottawa in 31st, but I have Vancouver in 30th. And I'm debating about whether or not Vancouver should be in 31st. I'm having some real debate because the one thing that's standing out to me with the Canucks right now, and again, I know I've talked about all the other preseason stuff, they allowed 19 more goals than they scored. They scored 11 goals in 8 games. This is just allowing 30 and scoring 11 is just, that is abysmal. So I don't know if I can keep Vancouver out of 31st when I actually reveal those rankings tomorrow. But again, it's all taken with a grain of salt, and it's just one man's opinion on that. Because I debated about whether or not during the offseason I thought, well, I'll come up with some sort of a system to make it so there's a measurable number of where each team is. No, that's not going to work. Not by the way I do it. If I come up with a measurable number, it's going to become. There's going to be times where that measurable number is wrong. In my eyes, and again, it's just in my opinion. So, we'll see how that does. And along the way, I'm very glad during the summer that I've had the time to do all of the extra videos, all the Hall of Famers, the THG Hall of Fame stuff, and all of the video series I've been able to do. There's another video series that's coming up as well. I will, within the next couple of months, be. I don't know how many of the thirds I'm going to get, but once I've got enough thirds that I'm comfortable, I'm going to start a series that I'll just title The Collection, which will be going through each team, and I will go through what jerseys I have of each team in the NHL. And I will try to go through which ones I have, and I'll try to chronicle the ones that I don't, and I'll go by whether I want them or whether I feel like they're redundant and I don't need them. People ask, sometimes like, well, which Adidas are you getting? There has to be a reason to get an Adidas jersey for me to get it. It can't just be, well, I need that in Adidas because I want it in an Adidas. There has to be a reason. For instance, I'm getting, not this month, but next month I intend to get a Tampa Bay Lightning Adidas. And that's because the Reebok that I have, it has St. Louis on the back. I prefer blank jerseys, to be honest. And I really like the way the logo's done on the Adidas, more so than the one that's done on the Reeboks. So at least the Reebok replicas, not an authentic. I don't have an authentic, so that's the other side of it too. So that's just an example of why I would look to update. There are certain teams that I only have, in the jerseys that I like, I only have a name on the back, and I don't like that. I like having the blank ones. And I know there are people who collect, for instance, various jerseys of, or you might have, like, say, 6 Canuck jerseys and got 6 different names on the back. Some people collect that way. I'd rather have the blanks. Because, again, they feel more timeless. I'm okay with having, like, my Ray Bourque Boston. Fantastic. That's awesome because, Bourque was my favorite defenseman of all time. And I have no problem wearing a Ray Bourque jersey anywhere. Yeah, even if I had to go to Vancouver wearing it, I'd wear it. So, that's an upcoming series. And then I've got other things too, but I keep remembering back to last year. In October, I tried starting new series, and then they just fell apart. I started a best of series, and I started with Anaheim, and I never did a second video in that. Completely didn't do the second video, so I need to go back, watch that one again, and see the what I was doing with that, and then either start that series up again or figure out some other way to do it or something along those lines. And I was doing at one point, I know I was doing the all THG team for each team in the NHL, and that just crapped out too. So, hey, at least with the history videos, I've got to almost 100 years, so that's almost 100 videos, and I'm still keeping it up. And now we're into 2015, so that feels very, very recent. But again, I'm very thankful to you guys for helping with all the growth of the channel, for all of your support throughout the summer. For those of you who were gone during the summer and you come back in the fall now that hockey's back, there is a ton of content. And I've tried to put it into playlists as much as possible if it's evergreen content, meaning you can watch it anytime, anywhere it doesn't become dated. And, so for people who come back in the fall, there might be a lot of stuff for them to watch. They might be like, wow, this is a really fun series. I missed this during the summer, and maybe it won't take off next summer. And for anybody worrying that I'm going to run out of topics or run out of video ideas, I've heard that for two and a half years now. Even when my channel had less than 100 subscribers, I had people saying, Shannon, you're going to run out of topics. You're going to run out of stuff to talk about. That's not really a thing when it comes to hockey. There are always going to be journeymen I can do videos on. There's always going to be more Hall of Famers. There's always going to be some other series I can do, whether it's on other ways of looking at goaltenders, defensemen, all of that fun stuff. Or just doing a compilation of how many times I've dropped my marker like that. So, again, thank you guys so much for watching. This is just sort of an update before we get into the craziness of the season. Because there's going to be days during the season where 6 or 7 different things happen. And I'm going to have to make a video on each thing. And sometimes it's going to be middle of the night. Sometimes I'm going to be woke up by my phone at, midnight, 1 in the morning, or 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning with, oh, look, something's happened, and I got to get up. But that's part and parcel of what I'm doing here to make sure that you guys get the news as timely as possible. And thank you guys so much for all your support. I'm going to set the board up for 2015's history. I will be wearing a Chicago Blackhawks jersey for that, of course. My brand new Chicago hat. If you guys haven't noticed, I've got a ton of those hats that have the reflector on them, because I think they look really, really nice all in a row like that. And the funny thing was that Yvonne told me to buy the first one. I didn't even really want it because I don't like logos that are off center like that. But these are nice hats. So I've got about half of the league, and I'm still hunting for more. There's a Florida one coming in. There's a Tampa one I haven't worn in a video yet as well that I have. And the Florida one has yet to come in yet. I ordered that one a while ago. And Lids has Winnipeg and Calgary, but they're small medium, and I take a large, extra large. So I know not to order a small medium because they hurt. And I don't feel like hurting my head every time I make a video just to have a decent hat on, when I've already got a bunch of hats of those teams. So, always moving forward and always trying to make sure that I'm providing the best content for you guys. And again, thanks for all your support. Almost 62,000, and onwards and upwards from there. So I will talk to you guys again soon. And yeah, so there's a little bit of an update for everybody. Thanks for watching.